Today we're gonna be. This will be the first video in a series that I'll be doing. Probably a two-part series. It'll be over my Beatles cover albums that I have. I have two of them. And I'll be covering the first one today. So today the one that we're covering is called All This in World War II. So basically this is a soundtrack for a 1976 musical documentary of the same name called All This in World War II. A little bit of background on the film. The director, basically, what he wanted to do with it was the director used Beatles songs covered by various artists of the 70s and put them over like World War II newsreel footage and old 20th Century Fox films. And yeah, it failed pretty big time. It didn't make very much money, and it was pulled from theaters only 2 weeks after its premiere. So really what they originally wanted to do is they wanted to put the actual Beatles songs over the footage, and they realized that they could make more money by if they used covers. So because they could then put out a soundtrack, like a full soundtrack instead of like a mix. The album itself, this one, released in November 5th, 1976. It was recorded, actually, between 1974 and 1976. The genre of this is rock. It's a pretty long album at 98 minutes and 45 seconds, so it's about an hour and a half. A little bit of a fun fact about this album is that the soundtrack itself actually generated more fanfare and made more money than the film that it was intended for. So yeah. So let's start with the front of it. So we have the big All This in World War II on the front. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's got the airplanes and the city skyline, and this says All This in World War II, and it's got just some nice colors. So down here at the bottom, we have what appears to be like a soldier, and he's got a gun instead of not a gun. He has a guitar instead of a gun, which is pretty cool, actually. I kind of like it. I'll show the movie poster, and it shows a guy marching, but he doesn't have a gun. He has a guitar. And then right here it says original soundtrack, because this is the soundtrack for the film, and then words and music by Lennon and McCartney, meaning that those are the songs that they use. So no Ringo Starr, no George Harrison songs. So on the back here we have track listing, and I'll go through all of these because they are all very interesting. There's just some stuff down here. This was released on 20th Century Records, which is Fox's publisher, because it was a Fox film. So yeah, so we'll go through the track listings. So first of all, Magical Mystery Tour by Ambrosia, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by Elton John, Golden Slumbers / Carry That Weight by the Bee Gees, I Am the Walrus by Leo Sayer, She's Leaving Home by Brian Ferry, Lovely Rita by Roy Wood, When I'm 64 by Keith Moon. That's side 1. Side 2, Get Back by Rod Stewart, Let It Be by Leo Sayer, Yesterday by David Essex, Little Help from My Friends / Nowhere Man by Jeff Lynne, Because by Lindsay DePaul, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window by the Bee Gees, Michelle by Richard Carcaente. I probably butchered that pretty bad, but so that's side 2. And then right here we have side 3, We Can Work It Out by the Four Seasons, and then Fool on the Hill by Helen Reddy, Maxwell Silver Hammer by Frankie Lane, Hey Jude by the Brothers Johnson, Polythene Pam, I can't speak, by Roy Wood, Sun King by the Bee Gees, Getting Better by the Status Quo, Long and Winding Road by Leo Sayer, Help by Henry Gross, Strawberry Fields Forever by Peter Gabriel. A Day in the Life by Frankie Valli. Come Together by Tina Turner. And You Never Give Me Your Money by Will Malone and Lou Reznor. And The End by the London Symphony Orchestra. So, if you know anything about music and those artists, you can tell that this album has a very 70s star-studded lineup. And yes, this could be considered a disco album. It is very 70s disco funk. Pretty cool, actually, to hear some of the Beatles songs in a different kind of genre. So we pull this out, and we have our actual gatefold, which on the inside has a picture of Pearl Harbor exploding. Kind of cool, I guess. I mean, not Pearl Harbor, that was a very tragic thing, but the image is cool. And then on the sides here, we just have more track listings. Same ones that we already looked at. So we close this up. And then we look on the front. Looks like we have Sky. Same guys from the front. Same logo. So we'll pull out a record real quick. I'll grab the paper sleeve too, because that has some stuff on it. Big 20th Century Records logo. Pretty cool. Kind of Art Deco. Blue sleeve. Just paper. Normal stuff. Nothing special. Pull out the disc. We have normal disc. This has 7 tracks on the front. 7 tracks on the back. Actually, this is the front. The other side was the back. Now, interestingly enough, you'll notice that this says side 1 stereo, and that the other side says side 4 stereo. Background on this. Back in the 70s, it was pretty popular to have a record changer. So then what you would do is you would stack the records. And so what you would do is you would have this one, side A, on the bottom. So that'd play. And then you would have the second disc, side A, which would be side 2. So you'd drop it and then listen to it. So then you would have to just set the record player up and let it play. It'd play through this disc. Drop the second disc, play through that disc, and then you just flip both discs, put them down, press play, and there you go. Boom. Pretty cool, but it's kind of weird. I don't have a record changer. I just have a normal turntable, so when you finish side 1, you have to pull out the other disc. A little weird, but a little bit of an interesting, neat quirk. So we pull out the second disc. Let me get it here. Same sleeve as before. And then side A is side 2. Side B is side 3. So yeah. And then 7 tracks on the front. 7 tracks on the back. So I'm going to play a little clip of one of the songs. I'll probably play... I don't know. I'll play something. Figure it out. And then, yeah. So, yeah. Well, if you noticed, in the last little clip I did, I only played maybe, 4 seconds of the song. Now, see, the reason why is the Beatles are content blockers, and even though that those are licensed out to a band, I don't know if the Four Seasons, which is what those, that's who was playing that, we can work it out by the Four Seasons. I don't know if they're blockers too, so I really don't want to take any risks with that, so I only played a few seconds of it, but right now I'll throw up the movie poster, and I think it has a guy, and it looks like he's marching, and he has a gun. I mean, not a gun, a guitar. It's pretty cool. I think it's a very striking poster. It's It's almost, I want to say, since the Vietnam War was going on, I almost want to say it was anti-war, you know, peace and love instead of war. Not speaking on the director's behalf, but I think it has a little bit of that kind of message. Same thing, Beatles songs, peace and love with a war theme. A bit interesting. But yeah, so I think that'll do it for the video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.